Miele, immer besser. The pinnacle of reliability. So when this quite good condition, C2 complete cat and dog, you can still read it. Look, it's fine. Came in for repair, saying that it makes a funny noise. You turn on. Oh, I've got my switch off because it makes a funny noise and the cable doesn't go back in, and that happens. Let's have a look and see if we can get this working any better. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Yes, what we have here is an SFBE1 something and something watts. I don't know what era this is, to be completely honest. It's PowerLine, so it's 1600. There we go. I worked it out. Yeah, it's been very well looked after, hasn't it, Phoenix? Yes, very well looked after. Hardly a mark on it. If we pop the tools up, we can see that we have a very nice little crevice tool. Not too bad. And yeah, inside there is also pretty alright. Not too bad. Yeah. Stupid door. In here, look, we have a genuine Miele High Clean 3D bag, which, if we remove, is completely and utterly stuffed to the brim. But despite the appearance of this machine, which is really quite grotty, inside here is okay. The pre-motor filter is cut completely the wrong side. Look, we can have gaps around it, which probably is going to explain why the whole thing is vibrating its head off. Yes, this is from a little contact of mine. It's actually the third Miele I've had. She uses them for her cleaning job. So we're going to try and get the cable winding in and stop it making that horrible racket. Let's get it apart. Right then, let's get this apart. And we'll start with the bag door. We need to unclip this trim piece here and remove this diffuser. How lovely, that bit of fluff that's gone right through the motor, because what comes out of here has to go through the motor. We'll push this locking tabs and the bag door comes off. We can go out of the way because we don't need to care about it. Now the next thing to do is to leave it up. Come on, there we go. 1, 2, this rear cover. Never try and remove these pedals on an S5, C2, whatever it is they badge it up as, because you will snap it. Remove the T20 Torx screws. Yeah, get that later. You can get to these two here quite happy, although you have to line your bit up. There we go. And yeah, you can come out if you want, that's fine. 2 in the front. And we'll collect all those up, and I'm going to put them out of the way in case my little conure swoops down and eats them. And then we can lift off this top casing and have to pull the cable through to get that removed as well. This is level 2, where we just need to pull here, maybe with a little bit of persuasion, could be to separate this plug. There we go. And this whole top bit lifts off once you unplug that connector there. Again, nothing wrong with that bit. We can put it to one side. Then we have 2 more, I think, only 2 screws, 3 more screws to remove. And then the middle part comes off. and we can admire this thing in all of its glory. Let's pull its cable off and have a closer look at this first. Got myself a hammer so that we can tap off the fan case, tap it down, and then if you're lucky you can just tweak it off of these little tabs. If you're more unlucky you have to keep tapping it off, really, but this instance we are okay. Now, you can sort of see our problem already. Look at that. But I don't know, I'm a little bit worried now. I honestly have not looked at this since it was dropped off. I thought, you know what, I'll do a nice video on it. People like Miele's. I am a member of a Miele Facebook group myself and know how much people like Miele's. You know, it could be good to clean it all out. It's not as glossy as I was thinking it would be inside. That is not bad. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's been run hot. There we go. That normally just pops off. That's been run very warm. So we're going to wash the fan, but it's not as bad as I've seen. That worries me a little bit. Because maybe it's something else. Maybe this thing is just plain... Right, Phoenix. Plain burning out, which would be a shame. Because I wouldn't make any money by fixing it. And I don't really sell new motors in for Miele's. Crikey. Look at the wear on that armature. But it's not burnt out. The bearings are okay. Ends of the carbons are... They're the shortest carbons I've ever seen on a Miele. This thing has worked hard for its money. I am utterly amazed, especially looking at that bag, that this hasn't popped. Oh, I've wondered, do I solder it up now? Obviously, normally that's a very common thing, to blow one of the solder joints that connects to that chip there, the thermal cutout chip. But no, this one is absolutely fine. Wow, amazing. Probably is just a fan wash then. So I'm going to get that in the wash and we'll see if we can fix the cord rewind, but I don't know, cord rewinds can be a pain. With the fan soaking nicely in some hot water and washing up liquid, let's have a look at this. Although I did say to her I'm not very confident because these can be all sorts of things. And what I think has happened is that the spring has come off of its track, which means that it's all wound around here. And yeah, there's not a whole lot I don't think I can do. I don't even know where the end of the spring goes. Let me have a quick play, but yeah, I think this is a lost cause. I stripped it down a bit more, and actually what's happened is somebody wrenched the cable out so far that the actual flex itself has sort of gone underneath. It shouldn't have that horrible kink on it. It had gone underneath the other bit and it's pulled the spring out of the wheel. If we look here, look, this should sit in there somehow. This should sit in that piece there, although from the way around it came out, I need to now get this bit right. Equally, it's probably ripped itself. Ah, there we go. Hooks on there. So, if we've got to push this bit down, then this cap thing locks that on. And then this bit pushes down. Oh, look. It's moving. And then, in theory, if we push that, aha! We have fixed it. Fantastic. Just by popping the spring on. I'm going to wind it on a couple of turns just to lock it on. Then we've got to put all this stuff back on, which was mainly comprised of, this goes on that way. It all lines up and snaps down. That's not lined up. There we go. Only goes on one way. What else did we have? Oh, really? This little cog's falling out. Just, oh dear. That's what I didn't want to happen. Now that that's back together again, you really don't want that to happen. That will be absolutely terrible. We can plug our cable back in. So live to where the live came off. Neutral to where the neutral came off. And then tuck it back down properly this time, because it should come out of there. So it all nicely then winds around the reel, which we will put on now. It sort of just goes on, it pushes on really badly and then screws down. It's very odd, but it sort of makes sense. I've done enough of them that you trust it works. Oh my god, I don't trust I work. What are you doing, Matt? Come on. There we go. Put these two screws in that hold everything down and together. Where's the other screw? There it is. Second one in here. Now, of course, this is untensioned. Now, it was a bit of a pain in the bum. So, we're going to wind it on a little bit. Just a couple of turns. And then, this is the really fiddly bit. We have to manually wind the cable on. So when we fit it to the machine and pull it out, it pulls on the spring and puts the tension on. So let's get this wound on. Oh, this is so fit. Like so. Now we need to bring the chassis back, because obviously that's terrible. That is not how that should go at all. What we've got to do is fit it sort of back into the machine so that it holds itself straight. Oh my goodness, I can't remember how it flipping goes. It was this. No, it wasn't this way. This way. Oh my goodness, which way round did this? It was here. Yes, get in. Thank you. I know what I'm doing. Now, oh, we've got to put it all the way out, because it's got to go back in nicely. This is where it's going to go for doing. If it's going to, and no, it hasn't. So we're going to put a nice slug of oil all over the spring. And then wind it back in. Of course, this cable has been not wound in for who knows how long, so it's being a right pain, but we need to check it's going to be alright. It's all twisted and obviously needs helping on. It's going to be a slow chord rewind. I don't think there's a great deal I can do about that, although we can pep it up a little bit. We've got to get the cable on and lift it out. And then we'll wind it on another couple of turns. You don't want to do it too much though, if you don't want to pull the spring off the other end. You don't. I think it's just going to be one of those things that's going to be better with use as opposed to anything else. Yeah, that's decent. I think it was heavily knackered anyway. I'm going to call that better than nothing. Fab. So that's one thing fixed. I'm not really going to clean the rest of this up too much. You know, it's not really why I've got it. So we shall come back when the motor fan is dry and we can drop the motor back in. Fairly short time later, the fan is now washed and, well, it's cleaner. Still not entirely convinced it was the problem, but hey ho, who knows. In here, the motor is actually just ready for the fan. I did put it back together after the last video and refilled the bearings with some new grease. So, let's smash this lot back together. So has our quick and dirty service worked? The fan is washed, the bearings are oiled, the cable, look, is caught on my drill. It's okay, it's a bit slow, but I would say that works about as well as it's possibly ever going to, bless it. This thing has seen some horrendous. Yeah, the cable goes in absolutely fine. Give it a little bit of a clean up. So there we have it, a Miele C2 which, bless it, probably wants to die, but not today, little buddy, not today. Bless you, you've got the S5 traits that you've inherited of just going baggy and awful, but your cable works, your motor works, there's no post-motor filter thing at all. I doubt the owner's going to care. This thing, ladies and gentlemen, is used by a cleaner. I don't think it's commercial, but certainly not a loved environment, bless it. And that's where it's going to go back to. So, fab. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I, but not this Miele, will see you soon. Bye-bye.